Talk to you. It was a historic day for cable news on Monday. Within the span of an hour, two top hosts were ousted from their networks, both Fox News and CNN. So I do want to talk about the nature of these departures, which you could only really characterize as abrupt. So from the top, there was really no indication either of them were getting fired. Don Lemon himself said he was stunned by his exit, and he was on CNN this morning just that morning. Tucker Carlson on Friday said, "See you Monday," when he was ending his show, and there were promos for his own show up on the network Monday morning before his departure. So what does this say that these hosts weren't afforded the opportunity on their own terms to exit their show to have one final word with viewers?
Yeah, I think that tells us one thing, and that is that the network considered this to be a not a friendly divorce in either case. And that's why they didn't want either Don Lemon or Tucker Carlson to have that opportunity to go on their shows and say whatever they wanted to say about how they felt they were going out. And we did see that in the case of Don Lemon, where he, accused CNN of not even giving him a chance, not hearing from management. And he said he got word from his agent, and that was quickly contradicted by CNN via their CNN PR Twitter account, saying that's not true. We gave you the opportunity, but then you decided to announce it via Twitter. And I think that essentially tells us about how these two firings came about, which is rather quickly, without warning for either of the two men involved, and the two, Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson, I do not think we're happy.
Yeah, you could say that. And I do want you to read between the lines for us for these actual announcements. So let's break them down. As you said, Don Lemon took to Twitter to announce he was fired by CNN a little bit over a half hour after the news of Tucker Carlson broke. And CNN said that he and the network parted ways, and obviously they disputed Don Lemon's recollection of what happened. Fox released a terse press release, and this was the first line. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. We haven't heard yet what Tucker Carlson has said. So what do you make of these actual announcements?
Well, it's interesting that the Fox News statement, and this was a kind of a classic television, we are it's almost as much of a cliche, this idea that we're parting ways, as saying somebody is going to go to spend more time with their family. It reads as we fired him. It's a two-line statement. We wish him well, and we've agreed to part ways. And that phrase "part ways" is the exact same language that Fox used a week before when they couldn't come to terms, is the understanding we have, with Dan Bongino, who was a host on Fox News on Saturday nights. He also did not have a chance to say farewell on his show, even though the network did say that he was given that opportunity, but he chose not to. He went on his podcast and, said it was a sad day, but we couldn't reach an agreement. But that phrase, "part ways," I think that is sending a message to some of the conservative fans of Tucker Carlson and Dan Bongino to say, hey, are these connected? Is this part of something larger? Are these just the first two guys to go? But those statements, they reveal a lot.